If you haven't heard by now, we are in a government shutdown, and a lot of government services stop during a government shutdown. One of the biggest ones that people are worried about right now are the SNAP benefits that are going to come to an end at the end of October if nothing is done by November 1st, which it looks like probably there won't be. But the thing is, this end in SNAP benefits actually reveals a much bigger underlying problem of just how dependent businesses and people are on the government. Because we all know that a lot of people rely on SNAP benefits to be able to get groceries and be able to feed themselves and their families. However, one thing you probably don't know is just how reliant so many different grocery stores, as well as even big grocers like Walmart, rely on these SNAP benefits, and just how much of a revenue loss there's going to be due to there being no more SNAP benefits. Right now you have everyday shoppers that are cutting back right now on all different types of unnecessary groceries. And 42 million Americans actually depend on SNAP benefits, and the upcoming stop to these benefits is forcing a lot of people to already start rationing out the groceries they're buying, downgrade their meals or groceries, or skip certain groceries or some of their favorite foods altogether. And let's start with the small independent grocery stores. Take this store, for example, called Save-A-Lot in Springfield, Missouri, I believe. 65% of the sales of this small grocery store actually come from customers who pay with their SNAP benefits. 65%, guys, that is more than half. I saw another story here in the Bay Area where 90% of the store sales come from SNAP benefits. So if these people suddenly have no money to go in and spend, well, it's game over for these stores. The store manager at this Save-A-Lot grocery store is already reporting fewer customers each day as shoppers spend all their assistance early in the month and then they stop coming in. So as a result, the store is ordering less stock and they're having to cut prices just to be able to keep some sales coming in. And they still end up throwing away unused goods because that's how it goes, right? You have a grocery store. Groceries are perishable. They can't save them forever. And here's the thing. Grocery stores already run on razor thin profit margins. It's one of those very small margin businesses, and they really only make a couple of pennies on the dollar. So they rely on bulk purchases. They rely on selling a lot of volume in order to make their money. And the owner of this Save-A-Lot grocery store says if sales dip for just a couple of months, he may have to close his doors for good. So these grocery stores cannot survive more than 2 or 3 months tops without receiving these benefits. You would think it'd be one thing for people not to get them, but actually these grocery stores could be shutting down by the thousands or hundreds of thousands if people cannot get these benefits. And it just goes to show you how reliant our entire economy is on government assistance, which is not a good thing. And by the way, I am here at the waterfront in downtown Tiburon. I had to do one more video over here before I left because it is just so beautiful out here, and I'm gonna miss seeing these views until next summer. Heading back to Florida in about a week or so. And the thing is, this grocery store slowdown doesn't just affect the grocery stores or the people who receive SNAP benefits, it also affects local distributors and suppliers. For example, you have a bread or milk delivery driver now delivering 25 units instead of 100, shrinking income throughout the local supply chain. This can also lead to layoffs, as if there's not as much delivery needed to be done, well, then they're going to start letting people go or cutting back on people's hours because there's just not as much work to go around. So you can see it has this big ripple effect throughout the economy. And some people are even facing a double threat. Like, for example, here's a woman that receives SNAP benefits, okay? And she also works at a grocery store, and she's a cashier. And if the benefits stop, not only is she going to have a hard time affording groceries, but she might actually lose her job working at the grocery store because there's no SNAP benefits. So it's kind of wild, guys, when you really look at the problems with this and how much people stand to lose. It's kind of shocking. Like, I wasn't even aware that it really runs this deep into the system and how much SNAP benefits actually keep the grocery sector of the economy going. And I'm not advocating for, having everybody rely on it. I'm just kind of shocked by how deep the roots of this actually go.